Well, we had another video before talking about the ban of adult entertainment in Spain, and we've had several stories about Germany blocking websites like Pornhub and Xvideo. We said the same thing in France in itself. But some good news to the situation, and the courts are prevailing to what it should be. That the courts are looking at this and saying this is actual censorship. What we're hearing out of Paris is, and we'll take this from XBiz, French court rejects religiously inspired attempt to block top tube sites. A Paris court of appeals rejected last week the attempt by a local war on porn groups led by an extremist Catholic organization to use France's media authority and the courts to block the most popular adult tube sites in the country. As XBiz has been reporting for the following months, and so have we, of statements and threats pressuring tube sites to implement a vaguely defined age verification schemes, French media regulator ARCOM went to court in March and April to demand that the French ISP block Pornhub, YouPorn, RedTube, all owned by MindGeek, as well as Tugif, XHamster, Xvideos, and XNXX. Tube sites in France have typically asked users to confirm through a pop-up that they are over 18 accessing adult content. This measure does not make it possible to guarantee that only an adult is likely to access the pornographic content available, asserted ARCOM through the statement in April. ARCOM is a recently formed agency that supersedes the former regulatory agency CSA, an analog of the American FCC. ARCOM sent double formal notices to the two sites operators demanding that they find a more robust solution than a simple declaration of age, wrote Mark Rees of the French tech news site Next Impact, which for months have been tracking ongoing threats by the Macron government to censor many of the most popular adult tube sites. Today, Rees reported that last Thursday, the Council of State Appeals Court issued a ruling rendering null all the activities taken up by the CSA and its successor, ACROM, in connection with the initial request to order block of adult sites. In the annulment of the proceedings against the adult sites, the Council of State specifically pointed out the role played by extremist Catholic organization Civitas in orchestrating the campaign to block adult websites over supposed failure to comply with the controversial 2020 law. And there's a little bit more toward this article, but to sum up pretty much everything, the courts have sided with these companies and that basically they're overstepping. This is the Puritans. These are the people that just want censorship. Today they start with the adult industry. Tomorrow they start to go after anime, manga. You know, I've said this before. They'll start to go after everything that they deem pornographic. Remember, France is still the place where a movie called Les Mignonnes, aka Cuties, was filmed, and nobody had any problem. The FCC version of France had no problem with that movie. The film organizations in France had no problem with this movie. Think about that for a minute. Put that in your mind. As disgusting as this movie was, nobody did nothing in the country of France to alleviate it. But they went after actual porn sites saying like, well, children are watching it.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Well, the thing about it is, no matter what age verification, and here's the best part about it is, they said they want to put a lock to verify age verification. So basically, adults are going in the site. these groups have no answers on how to do it. It goes to show you where they're coming from when it comes to all these situations. That they sit there to criticize people, companies, on what they do, and they've done the best that they can. It has to come from the home. If you, for those of you who have children, you got to make sure you have blocks on, blocks on the addresses of a lot of these sites. There's easy software that you can get. There's basic software, some of it's free, that you could put out there and block these sites. Companies do it all the time. If you're working for a company, most companies, you can't get onto an adult site. You type in the site and it's blocked. It's very easy to do. But that's not what they want. These organizations, this is not what they want. They want to get rid of them. And the thing about it is, they're fighting with XBiz. They're fighting with X videos, XNXX, and many others, Pornhub. But the biggest porn site out there that's promoting porn is Twitter and Facebook. There's tons of it on there, and they have not gone after them. They have not gone after, which basically a lot of the stuff that's posted on Twitter and Facebook most of it is against terms of service. They haven't gone after that. Why? Because they're making money off of it. And that's the plain fact. They're making money off of these guys, girls, however you want to put it. I've seen tons of it on Twitter. There's tons of it from all over the world. And I'm not talking about girls in skimpy outfits and stuff like that. We're talking penetration sex. Do you understand? They're like videos where they're actual sexual acts. It doesn't last long, but it's actual sexual acts. And it's diverting you to other sites. And it's the same thing on YouTube also. There are people on YouTube that are directing people outside of YouTube to adult sites by posting certain videos hidden as like a naked yoga. If you go to the naked yoga, you will find some of this stuff in there. You will find videos that there are people that are doing sexually tantalizing dances, just pretending to be yoga, and it's not yoga. You don't wear high heels to do yoga, especially hooker heels. But I'm glad the courts here have sided with these companies. I mean, I'm so glad because they see, the courts are seeing what the issue is. There are laws that are on the books in that country that does protect. They're not as strong as they is in the United States, but there are laws that are in certain countries that still does protect certain freedoms. Not the greatest in the world, but hey, at least it's there and the courts recognize it. So we'll continue to monitor this because this ain't over. This ain't over with these groups. They're going to continue to press on, press hard. And, like I said before, these are the same countries that are trying to reduce the age of consent in those countries. So put that in your thought processes there. Subscribe, like, share. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye now.